Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Hard Truth. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to my fellow Americans. You know how we do it. And shout out to our international community. Everybody, I see your lights shining really bright today. Well, I'm having a great time in my travels. Nothing like a little exercise, a little fun in the spiritual sun, if you know what I mean. All right. Today, I just want to give you another number to add to what I've been talking about with my numerology and the Hebrew concordance. All right? I don't want to hear anything else about, what is it, websites and Ouija boards and all that stuff. My research is based on the Hebrew concordance only. And if you were a member, you would know that because I've demonstrated how I found the numbers and how I interpreted them on my members only lives. All right. So if you're still confused about my numerology approach, it's because you're not a member and you haven't seen the explanations in depth. All right. And also, you might want to check out some of the Thursday night lives, the most recent ones, where we've also talked about them there. All right. All right. So I'm going to give you another number and a few confirmations on what I've already said previously regarding the Idaho 4 case. All right, ladies and gentlemen, grab that coffee or a nice cup of tea as we begin our story. In one of the first lives, members only lives for this series with the numerology, I had the number 40, but I told you I didn't know what it meant yet. Remember, I just didn't provide an explanation for it. Well, I know what it means now, and I want to show you. Whenever you do something or commit a trespass against someone, it comes back to you 10 times in karma, or not even just someone, anything. And so what came to me is if you unalive somebody, it comes back to you 10 times the karma. And since 4 people were unalived, Maddie, Kaylee, Ethan, and Xana, that's 4 times the 10-time karma. So we have 40 times the karma, and thus this is why I kept getting the 40. What we have here is someone who is complicit. Okay, there's some degree of involvement in Idaho for crimes, but the degree of involvement, or I guess what you would say is what complicity, is still kind of up in the air. But the fact that Brian Kohberger left his apartment at about 2:45 and en route to wherever he was going, he turned his phone off, suggests to me that he was completely aware of what was going to take place or transpire in Moscow and that he was a part of it. Um, there's also the problem of ego because even though I believe that several people were involved in this, he's the only one that's been arrested. And so he's the only person that I'm focused on now. I'm not interested in pursuing who else was there. My focus is on the person that's in custody and the proceedings that are associated with his case because that's the only case that's in existence right now. So it wouldn't make sense for me to go chasing in the dark for whoever actually was in the house committing the crime because we really have very limited evidence of Brian's involvement, less more someone else. Okay. There's also the issue of ego. I mean, once you're cornered or um, once you've been highlighted as part of a conspiracy to commit a crime, that should bring anxiety. It should bring some type of reckoning, some kind of self reflection. And that's one of the purposes for incarceration, so that a person can think about, what transpired, what could have been done differently, or even perhaps to pray, God forbid, to pray. And so at this point, I don't see any of that in Brian. I see um, a last ditch effort, one more strategy to be able to, circumvent fate, karma, and perhaps save face and maybe what we say on the street, finesse his way out of this. I don't see that happening either. Okay. Um, the police have already stated that they intend to pursue the death penalty in this case. And so that's what they mean to do. And if you arrest someone for something and you believe that they are guilty of that, and they won't even issue a plea for the crime, less more a defense. I mean, what else are you left to do? And we also have to look at the heinousness of the crime, the way that these kids lost their lives. No one was warned, nothing. And so nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And there's really nothing to discuss or weigh or uh, what do you say? What's the word? What's the word? There's nothing to debate. Okay, so that's my stance from the position of who done it, and I don't believe that Brian is the only person that is involved. I don't even believe that he actually did the physical unaliving. But I definitely believe that he was complicit in planning and some degree of execution, covering it up, getting rid of the weapons. I do believe that. I believe that Brian's strategy right now is to um, solicit the support of those who believe in his innocence. I believe that um, his fans, the people in the public who believe he's innocent or maybe are maybe on the fence about it, I believe that he is depending on their efforts to find a way out of the death penalty. And I believe that this is supported by the fact that he recently made a motion to have his documents made public, when before he didn't want cameras in the courtroom. He wasn't interested in us looking at his body language, comments he made. And so uh, there's been a big change, a reversal, because now all of a sudden he cares what us, the public, has access to. And so I believe that that supports my theory of that. Some of the things that I'm saying may sound confusing. I would refer you back to the lives for the past 3 or 4 weeks, because they explain my method and my theories, my visions and my conclusions in depth. Okay, so if this doesn't sound like it makes sense, then a good thing to do is to revisit the lives. This time next year, I expect to see Brian Kohberger still incarcerated, either in the county jail because the proceedings haven't played out, or in prison awaiting his execution date. All right, that's what I see. I want to put out a pre-recorded live on StreamYard sometime. Not sure when I'll get around to doing it, but I will let you know, maybe turn on some notifications when I'm about to put it out. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless.